Today's random grab razor is this kind of no-name Swedish razor who I've named him Elvin. It says Radium on there, and we'll be using the Lucky Tiger. See you today on the Safety Cat Studios YouTube channel. Some years ago I got this razor. It was an unfinished condition. It didn't have a bevel on it, didn't have any edge on it. And its only markings on it was Radium, Swedish steel, first quality. Now, you know that's a fine razor. It's got some nice spine work and some jimping here. It's a very nice razor. It had a terrible frown. This, see if you can see it very good. Here, you get against the dark. See how it's kind of straight, but it's got this little bit of a curve here? Oh, it had a really bad one. And I struggled with it, trying to get an edge on it. I ended up sending it to a friend of mine in California who was able to revive it and got a pretty nice edge on it. We're finally getting to the bottom of all that soap that I stuck in the bottom of this bowl. This is a Spike soap. And let's have at it, shall we? We'll put a little water on our face. I had some interesting discussions on just questions on my YouTube channel. Someone asked a question about using alum after a shave, which is kind of, maybe it's not as common as I thought. I always thought everybody used alum, but it's good stuff. After you get done with your shave, you use the alum to kind of close up any little micro abrasions. Good for your skin too. Kind of astringent. It pulls the oils out. And maybe it stimulates the sebums. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Barbara Dave about that. But it does point out where you've made mistakes. If you have bad form, you'll abrade your face, and then the alum stings a little bit and will let you know about it. I tell you what. Now this old gal has to have been 7 or 8 years ago this thing was honed and edge put on it. And all I ever do now is just strop it. Swedish steel is hard enough that it'll maintain an edge for a very long time, and if you maintain it, it'll keep it on there. Most razors are that way. Softer steels, maybe have to refresh them a little while every now and then. But generally speaking, once you get a good edge on a razor, you maintain it with the strop, and all a strop does is kind of straighten up as you got a little foil edge like this, and when you cut it, it'll deviate a little bit, and all the stropping does is realign that and keep it all lined up. So you keep everything lined up, and these things will shave you for a good long time. But this is the razor that kind of started me on my kick for Swedish razors. I like the way it feels. The feel of the steel. You can kind of sense the hardness, because a softer razor, it's almost hard to put into words. You can get a sense of how tough the steel is. So a softer razor feels a little different than a really hard steel razor. had a pretty good weekend this last weekend. Last day was Ohio State Buckeyes football. It was they were playing Marshall, and that was a school that I applied to when I was in high school. I applied there in Ohio State, and I was accepted at both schools, but frankly, at that long ago, I don't remember all the circumstances that had me going to Ohio State. None, not the smallest of which is the campus is right over here, and so I was able to stay home. I was staying home. I was paying all my college expenses. So Dad said, I'll give you a roof over your head. If you want to go to college, then that's what I'm supporting you to do. And that was it, pretty much. So it was much less expensive at the time to go to Ohio State, not stay in the dorms. In retrospect, maybe it would have been better for my education to stay in a dorm and get away from all the fun. Not really fun. I had a lot of friends still at home, and so there's a lot of distraction, and so I didn't study as hard as I should have. That's the old adage, C's and D's to get you degrees. So I was an average student, but I did the whole thing on my own dime, so I ended up not owing anybody anything when I graduated. Of course, it took 2 jobs to do it, but we did it. Need a little bit more here. This Spike was pretty good soap, I tell you what. It was just a little hunk that I cut off the puck because it didn't fit in that medicine bottle, so I cut a 1/4 inch or so off it, and I've been soaping the jeebers out of it. And we got 5 shaves out of it. There's still a lot in there. I'll probably get 2 or 3 more out of what's in the bowl. I'm gonna start adding other soaps to it. And I'm gonna lather in that bowl and load from the puck like I usually do. So we're gonna get the clown puck effect out of it. Clown puck is, or clown puke, is what I used to do, and pretty neat practice, is you take what's left over when you're using soaps, and there's a little bit left over in the bottom of the bowl, and you mash it all into one, and it's a mixture. You don't really care what soap it is, you just put it all in one place. And somehow there's a synergy that takes place that these soaps all end up just a marvelous shave out of it. If you're wondering what you do with all those little pieces, that's an idea. Here's the alum. I'm going over it, kind of closes down the pores, indicates where I had any problems, which I didn't, but if I had cut myself a little bit, it would stop the bleeding. Good stuff. Use it with straight, when you're using straight razors or DE razors, anything. Good to have. Move on to our Thayer's Lemon Witch Hazel. Part 2 of my post shave regimen. And then the aftershave. Today, where I would use Spike, this actually fell off the shelf back there, so I thought, I'll just use that. And we're gonna use some Lucky Tiger. This is a great big bottle, kind of a barbershop size. I'm not sure if it's used in barbershops, but it should be, because it's a bay rum scent. And with this much, you can just slather it on. And it's good for you. It also kills the germs and stuff that you might introduce into your pores. Cuts down the ingrown hairs. Makes you feel good. Ladies like you. Everything like that. And that's it for today's shave. I'm Major Rich. You find me at theshavingcodger.com. You might be finding me on my YouTube channel, Safety Cat Studios, and Safety Cat Studios webpage. Thank you for coming once again. Leave a like if you can. Subscribe if you like. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.